Welcome to Centered Presents The Future of Health. Join me, Christina Walecka, along with Dr. Molly Brown, as we dive deep into the world of brain-based wellness.
In each episode, we will explore cutting-edge insights and practical techniques that empower you to achieve optimal health and super high-energy living.
Tune in and start your journey toward a healthier, more vibrant you. Welcome to Centered Presents The Future of Health. I'm Christina Walecka.
And I'm Dr. Molly Brown.
And on today's episode, we are diving a little bit deeper into QNRT, Quantum Neuro Reset Therapy. Molly, why don't you tell us more about what that actually is?
The QNRT is an amazing body of work. And literally when I was exposed to it, I felt that I had found something that I would have searched my entire life to find. I feel like the QNRT has the ability to restore you to who you are as a person. So it is a neurological reset that resets your nervous system to underlying emotional stresses and resets the organ and glandular function along with the immune function in the process.
So what does that mean?
Well, basically, it's a technique that brings in eye activation to activate a stressed brain lobe. Every brain lobe and every organ and gland in the body has a specific underlying emotional stress. For instance, the thyroid has to do with powerlessness. The kidney has to do with fear or even abandonment. The spleen is shock and surprise. Pancreas is anger or struggle within family members. By quickly testing the body, we pinpoint an underlying emotional stress that's just objective. We don't even have to discuss the underlying story. And then we reset the nervous system to that underlying emotional stress, and in the process, the organ and glandular function as well. It's about a 20 to 30 minute session. Time and time again, we'll see overnight an immune condition clear up, or a strep throat in a kid clear up the next day and never come back. We see the nervous system balance. We see people able to talk about their stresses or traumas without crying because they can process it. Yeah. They become resilient to it. It's the most amazing work, besides the AIM at work, that I've ever found in my life.
No, and one way I kind of like to talk about it is basically your body is made up of a ton of stories. Again, like your body carries trauma and your brain has all these subconscious thoughts every second of every day of your life. And basically we can figure out what story is forefront and center on your mind and kind of address it with you and help you move past that story that's maybe causing your body a lot of trauma or the inability to move on or be present in your day-to-day functioning. So you talked a little bit about what conditions and cases QNRT can help with. Are there any risks or side effects associated with the QNRT
Nothing.
practice?
The QNRT is a very balancing therapy. There's no side effects. Sometimes there could be some grief or some anger for a day or two as you process it, but we just see time and time again incredible results with it. It's a body of work that becomes additive and develops over time, so they become more and more connected and conscious to your nervous system and your brain.
How many QNRT sessions are usually required to begin to see results?
Amazingly, a lot of times people feel significantly different after the first QNRT session, and that was my experience as well. Usually people notice that they sleep better right away.
People usually tell me they have a lot of dreams.
Yeah, because you're waking up your consciousness, right? So with immune, with like a cold or strep throat, it's really cool because usually that just goes away the next day. Autoimmune conditions are the longest to work through, and those are a 3 to 6 month process, maybe, sometimes shorter and sometimes longer. Definitely with some of the most chronic and complicated conditions out there, if anything is going to help you, it will be the QNRT.
And what is the youngest and oldest age, I guess, anyone could come?
I've been working on my kids since they were very, very small. There's no age restriction or limit. You can even QNRT dogs.
I've never seen that one. I'm going to have to see that one done.
You just need to get that eye activation.
Can QNRT be used along other forms of treatments or therapies?
Yep. It's harmonious and will accelerate any result you're looking to achieve. But a lot of times when I start working with people, I don't recommend that they start other things right then because I want the results to be very specific, right? And so I don't want people to come back and say, well, it could have been this or it could have been this. We want to just be able to track a result.
Is there anything that would kind of interfere with the QNRT working?
Well, because it's a neurologically based work, I generally advocate for an alcohol and drug-free lifestyle so that people can be aware of the changes that are occurring. And there are certain times where there's limiting factors. If people are in abusive situations or abusive relationships, that can be a limiting factor. Generally, I wouldn't have anyone start a big process of another technique or another therapy while they're doing QNRT because it's so comprehensive. I like to be able to have people experience the changes and move forward in a really focused way.
Yeah, I remember I always left Dr. Molly when I first got started in the practice. I would be like, so what do I do now? And you'd be like, nothing. And I'd be like, what do you
Just
mean?
integrate.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to let it sit with you and integrate into your life and just kind of wait. It could be instantaneously. It could take a little bit, but it kind of just like happens.
Profound changes occur almost instantly. And so when you're used to operating one way and then your nervous system changes and you're not reacting in the same way to life events or triggers, there's work to be done, right? That's where a really great therapist can come in and help you integrate those changes and the change in your nervous system where you're not reacting to things and your relationships change. Everything significantly changes with the QNRT. And I think it's a very comprehensive modality. It's important to focus on that while you're doing it.
And again, kind of that maintenance. And if you really have a more severe case, or again, the autoimmune takes longer, 5 days will usually get you better. But then there's getting even better. And then there's kind of that maintenance. And since we're living a life where things are happening to us every day, it's not going to be as consistent all the time, but kind of keeping that maintenance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've probably done more QNRT than anyone I've ever met. And I feel like at least, for myself once a week, I love to get a reset, but I go and do intensive 3 days, morning and afternoon, maybe once or twice a year. And that sort of tunes me up for the entire 6 to 12 months to come. I feel perfect when I do that. Generally, you can do a batch of work and let it integrate, experience all the changes physiologically, neurologically, mentally, emotionally, physically. And then, our maintenance program is once a month.
Yeah. And that's, I think, doable. In terms of finding a QNRT practitioner, I think they're kind of popping up as this practice becomes more well known. But we do recommend visiting Dr. Turner's website where he lists, Dr. Turner's the inventor of the QNRT method.
Yeah, there's some amazing people. I love being able to refer. There's some East Coast and Midwestern referrals. And just depending on what your match is with the person, right? You always want to work with someone that you connect with. So there's different personalities out there, like with anything. And there's some amazing QNRT practitioners that are all incredibly getting similar results.
So QNRT is something we definitely recommend everyone try. It's not that scary. It's not that long, and it is life-changing, and again, can help with so many conditions: autoimmune, anxiety, depression, trauma.
When someone comes in and they're looking for results for especially autoimmune, chronic injury, chronic pain, anxiety, trauma. Nervous system work, QNRT is my go-to for sure. And even the common cold or flu, it's QNRT. If it's more injury-based or sports performance-based, our go-to is the AMET work.
I did an allergy reset, and I'm someone who struggled with allergies my whole life. I mean, my mom took out my room and took out the rug and took out the drapes and whatnot. And oh my God, I'd go over to a friend's house, and if I walked in and there was a cat, I knew there was a cat in that house. And we did, because allergies, I think, have been getting worse and worse, but we did an allergy reset last year. And everyone this year, my brother went to a music festival and was like, I couldn't even watch Ed Sheeran. I was crying. My eyes had to be shut. And I'm like, my allergies haven't been this.
Really? That's amazing. I didn't even know that.
I know.
Yeah.
QNRT,
the allergy work is amazing.
Yeah. QNRT is amazing. It's wonderful. It's almost like a miracle happening every time you walk in and out of that door. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Centered Presents The Future of Health. If you're interested in learning more, please visit us at drmollybrown.com or email us at media@drmollybrown.com.